During the COVID season, there were people that spoke out about mass psychosis and the trauma effect of what was going on. Some of the commentators, and I agree with those people, were speaking about the military grade psychological and neurological warfare that was being used during the COVID program. I also agree with that. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I think it's the leading edge of military technology. And back in 2020, you could actually go and look at the West Point Military College in America's training videos and lecturers speaking about neurological warfare, how to subdue populations using mind control. After the Second World War, the MK Ultra programs that were working in America under the CIA were also using mind control techniques, immersive trauma, sexual abuse, and drugs to elicit certain responses from people. And there's controversial things that they did that caused people to kill themselves and loss of life as a consequence of these unofficial research projects. But the purpose of them was to experiment and find out how to control people other than using fences and guns. And it turns out it's very effective. Using fear and trauma is a very effective way, like putting a spotlight on a deer or causing someone to be so afraid they flop. There's 4 responses from trauma: fight, flight, flop, or submit, feign, become really weak. So all those 4 reactions, they know that this is the consequence of causing people to be very traumatized. During COVID, what you saw was repeated messaging of extreme human suffering in your face every single day for maybe 2 years. Constant barrage against your brain to trigger fear. And it was effective. It caused people to agree to the solution that they introduced, which was the vaccine. And when the data was unveiled, the truth was unveiled, people couldn't even believe it was the case because they'd been so heavily indoctrinated in their mind by the visual imagery, propaganda. And I've educated people, many people, who couldn't believe that what they saw on TV was deliberate messaging to cause them to be submissive. So here's the message about that, because it's not over. What you experienced in 2020 was a precursor so that the next time they cause you to be afraid, you won't react so much and it won't take so much effort. You won't jump so high. It was a test to see if they could subdue you, and now they're going to go for another shot with messages that are fear instilling, causing you to respond with a fight or flight, 4 trauma responses. So here's what the Spirit of God says. Pay attention to this. They don't know it's a trap, and they've all been prepared for the next one. Psychologically, biologically, neurochemically, you've been prepared for the next trap. Fear has a way of overwhelming the rational mind and has been used to control people for generations now by stealth. They don't realize how much fear they contain in their hearts and in their imaginations. It's terror and anxiety and not love for me. I don't want them to be afraid, and I don't want them to live a lie anymore. I want them to live a light life in love with me. That's the opposite chemistry. Love chemistry and fear chemistry are completely opposite. Love is endorphins, oxytocin. It causes us to bond. The joy, serotonin, the joy chemistry is the opposite of fear. And it causes us to be brave and bold and courageous in the opposite way. Inclusive, together, make contact with each other, and all of those other endorphins, adrenaline, and cortisol from trauma are suppressed when we're in love. That's why Jesus is speaking this message to you. It's a wedding, right? I'll sing their praises every day until they see it clearly. Amen.